Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots, the Last Prime, the Matrix Bearer, and the Furious Robot goes up against the Titan Beast himself, the king of the monsters, and the most ferocious monster to ever exist in fiction, Godzilla, one of Toho's most menacing monster to ever lurk in the streets of Tokyo. Now, for years, giant monsters and robots had a fierce rivalry, but now it is the time for the most iconic characters to face off each another, and we will determine who will win in this battle of the series. And two of them are my most favorite fictional characters of all time. Both of them are extremely strong and they're really ferocious. Hey guys, Prime1 here, and I'm sorry this took so long, like a month and all, to make this series, since I was extremely busy at doing stuff. I did admit I was a bit lazy at that time, and I was pretty much busy at wrapping stuff. Now, however, I'm here, I'm free, and I can do future videos whenever I want. And this has been a matchup I've been wanting to do for so long, and here's the first part. Today, we will be covering the first segment of Optimus Prime vs. Godzilla. We will progress our way from the weakest to strongest incarnations of the two characters. However, I'm not too knowledgeable on Godzilla stuff, so I'll have to get huge ups for Godzilla King of the Monsters for these scans. Be sure to check his YouTube channel because he does great Godzilla scaling related videos, and I did take some scans from those said videos. And I want to give a big ups to one of my best friends on Discord, King of Godzilla, for helping me a lot on Godzilla scaling. He's a really cool guy, and be sure to check King of Godzilla's channel in the description below, and I will mention him in the video as well, since he does also good scaling videos as well. Now for the first part, I will be doing pretty much the opposite, since we are going to be doing the Autobot leader from the Shattered Glass universe, the evil Autobot leader, and pretty much he's gonna go up against the most underrated version of Godzilla, who is a Bloody Moon's creature that lurked across the streets of Tokyo, causing to the whole city to chaos, which is Shin Godzilla from Godzilla Resurgence. We will be going through their scalings, speeds, win cons, etc., and we will determine who would win. Before that, I want all of you to subscribe to my channel and be sure to tune in the rest parts that will come later on. So, without further ado, let's see what does the opposing evil Autobot leader even has, and does his feat hype up the potential of him to truly win. Till all are gone. Now, for Shattered Glass Optimus, I know composite Shattered Glass Optimus reaches around star or multiversal ranges, but for this part, I'm using the one that appeared in the Shattered Glass run / the Fun Publications version of him. Now I know I did kinda announced I wanted to do the latest version of Optimus, which is from the movie Transformers 1, but I did scrap that idea because the matchup between him and Shin made no sense and was kinda boring, so I had to spice things up and replaced him with Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, and this looks cool since both characters are the opposite of their own traits. It'd be fun to do Shattered Glass Optimus to make this matchup more fair. Alright, now let's go through his scaling. At first, a lot of people think he is featless, but that's not the case, as he literally took down Ultra Magnus and plus tanked his attacks, and is vermin-stated as the strongest Autobot, which will mean he is above Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus, who was able to contend against the Classics vs Ultra Magnus. Now keep in mind, the Classics verse is a continuity to the Marvel Comics G1 universe, so going by this logic, the ones from Classics should scale to the Marvel characters due to them being the same being. Going by this, Shattered Glass Optimus would also scale to the Marvel G1 cast, such as Marvel Ultra Magnus, who at best can contend with Galvatron and did it once again. But however, Galvatron was weakened when both Magnus and Galvatron lastly fought, meaning Ultra Magnus would only scale to a weakened Galvatron. But it wouldn't matter, since even a weakened or holding back Galvatron would scale to Megatron. And to make this more consistent, Shattered Glass Optimus is literally the opposite of the original Optimus, so he would scale to the Marvel Comics / Classics vs Optimus Prime, who can contend with Shockwave, who survived an Energon Cube explosion that could destroy a stadium without further damage, which is decently calced at town level. That's not all, since Optimus can fight against Megatron, and this has been consistent throughout the whole comic run of the Transformers, including the US and UK publishing. And plus, he is literally considered as Megatron's rival, and if you look at the second panel, it has a decent feat about Megatron's fusion cannon, which can be put at small town level, since he blasted a small town. Megatron even has great heat resistance, like nukes like the Titan can burn at this degrees, which is this times hotter than the sun's core, which makes it better when a Titan missile Megatron can resist is 3.75 megatons, which is small city level at best, and Optimus Prime can resist his fusion cannon and tanked it once. However, there's another meta I want to discuss that upscales him. Since Optimus can counter Megatron and his fusion cannon, a shot from a fusion cannon can annihilate entire large cities, and a little more about the abilities of other Transformers. Billions of years ago, in another solar system on the planet Cybertron, skyscrapers the size of mountains, that is, the fact that the arc's impact on the Earth was so devastating that it penetrated the planet to its very depths of its crust. And now it is certain that Megatron's fusion cannon, as you yourself know, destroyed the entire Autobot fortress. Now understanding the size of cities, plus we literally see Megatron doing this at the first issue. Overall, AP/durability would get Shattered Glass Optimus around town level, or likely higher from small city level to city level ranges. As for speed, Shattered Glass Optimus would be the same level as original Optimus, who was able to dodge Shockwave's beams, which it was stated that Shockwave's attacks are beams of radiation, making this the speed of light, and would also scale to Power Master Optimus Prime, since Megatron would arguably downscale from him, and Power Master Optimus Prime should scale to Underbase Starscream, who was able to dodge Jetfire speed, which Jetfire speed is literally the speed of light. So in terms of his feats, while as it stated he would destroy NYC, Tokyo, and Buenos Aires, we don't get to see that happen, so take that as you will. And plus, there's a lot of cases where characters dodge speed of light attacks, including Jetfires, and Prime scales to them, which is because it's just that dodging laser beams tend to end up in Relativik, but it can be on FTL depending on the angle and distance of the attack. So this will solidly put him at Relativik in both reaction and combat speed. Conclusion, he is around town level, likely higher or from small city level to city level ranges. For speed, he's Relativik or higher. Time for the most individual version of Godzilla. I believe he doesn't have much feats from his first form, but his second form does kinda have, seeing as second form Shin Godzilla pushed boats and destroyed a bridge and knocked over a building by hugging it, which is just small building at best I think, but his important form is the fourth form, since Shin Godzilla generated city block energy by just existing. So overall, Kamakura-san, which is the fourth form of Shin Godzilla, would physically be around small building to city block level at a degree. Now onto his devastating weapon, the atomic heat ray. If you recall that scene where Shin used his ray and vaporized buildings etc., that feat at lowest end can be calced at multi-city block level degrees. However, for highest ends, his ray can be calced at around large town to small city level. The problem is that Shin doesn't scale to his ray physically, since he literally gets hurt by massive operating air blasts. Now onto his speed. You know, he's below average human since he's literally just slow on land. But for Shin's ray, it is composed of photons, which is actual light, making this the speed of light. So overall, you can get Shin Godzilla around small building to city block level, or around multi-city block or large town to small city level with his ray. And as for speed, he will be below average human or the speed of light with his ray.
Now here leads to the question, who will win? Well, this is already obvious. Shin Godzilla is just very slow physically and can't stand a chance since he would have some anti-feats. While Shin Godzilla is impervious with man-made weapons even though he has his own limits, since as before the time he launched his own beams, he was injured by bunker bombs, and if you guys think Shin's weakness is just the back, that's not the case, since that statement is clearly undermined, and plus it is a headcanon, since couple reliable sources say, despite his hard skin, he was no match for the bunker bombs. And keep in mind, each bunker bomb is 2.6 tons of TNT, which is large building level, so it took large building attacks to damage Shin. Literally, Shattered Glass Optimus has far higher AP physically than Shin, and plus is more faster. If you guys think Shin's Ray can stand a chance, it still won't, because Shin can only use his ray at a limited time before freezing for 2 weeks, which is another reason why he doesn't scale to his ray physically. And plus, even though it would hit Shattered Glass Optimus, Prime would survive that, since, keep in mind, Optimus literally tanked town and city level attacks, because again, scaling from Megatron and Optimus, and despite Shin's ray being the speed of light, Marvel Optimus would scale to above, or anyone who scales to speed of light attacks. And plus, since Shattered Glass Optimus has better reaction and combat speed, he would just dodge one of Shin Godzilla's attacks pretty easily. Shattered Glass Optimus, keep in mind, needs one thing to win against Shin, because despite Shin having regeneration mid to low or low to high, over time, since Shin Godzilla can regenerate from something as small as himself, though it will take him some months to achieve this process, he literally doesn't have any resistance to durability negation, since all Shin does is fight military weapons. And Shattered Glass Optimus legitimately has G-Metal in his laser form, which allows him to cut through his enemies no matter what, which is a better durability negation, and Shin would simply not survive that. Overall, the winner of the first part is Optimus Prime himself.
That's it for this part. I hope you liked this video, and be sure to tune in for the second part, which will be Optimus from the latest Skybound comics going up against a Goji that is from the best Godzilla movie ever since King of the Monsters, which is Godzilla -1. I hope you guys subscribe, and if you have any future video suggestions, do let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you at the second round. Peace out.